Notification volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Blind Builds. I am your host, Blind Prime, and for today, I have for you the Star Wars Black Series TIE Fighter, and I'm going to instruct you on how to build it. And it's pretty simple, so we're going to try and get it out of the way pretty quick. To start off, you want to grab the top canopy piece. And, you may not be able to see, I've got a little little TIE Fighter pilot in there. He's helping out with the controls. We're going to put on the top cover for this thing, and just going to snap it into place. There it goes. Good. First part done. Part number 2 is the antenna. Come here, Bat, give me the antenna. You've been so helpful carrying it around for me. So the antenna is going to go into this slot, or this port that I talked about in the previous video. That's on the right hand side of your TIE Fighter, so long as the giant screen, the front window of the TIE Fighter, is facing away from you. We're just going to put that in there. And it's a mushroom style peg thing, so you got to pinch them together before putting it in. We're just going to pinch them together and then shove it in. Alright, it's done. And now we have our antennae for the TIE Fighter. Woot woot. Next up on the list is the gun. So give it here. Trooper, thank you. Cool. Alright, so for this you want to flip your TIE Fighter over 180 degrees. And maybe this would have been the thing I did before putting the antenna on top, because now I have to hold it in my hand. But the gun goes on the bottom in that porthole we discussed in the last video, and it clicks into place. Use the flat of the palm of your hand to do that. It makes it pretty easy and gives it an even dispersal, and it actually rolls pretty well around there. That's a nice little gun. It spins quite easily. Okay, now let's see if it can rest on there quite easily. Should have done this first. Now I can just spin it around. Alright, that's turning your TIE Fighter into a lazy Susan if I've ever seen it. Okay, now for the wings. For the reason we're out here. So, stay. Now, each wing is almost textured exactly the same, but there's slight differences to them. So for this wing, this is the right-hand side wing. I marked it myself, and we can find that there are textures that are vary depending on the wing. And you can find them by these, there are some notches down here at the bottom. There's one there, but on the other side of the wing, there it is as well. It goes all the way up to here in the middle, and if you drag your hand across the middle, you'll discover that it's on the downside on the middle. So if you face this thing away from you, on your left-hand side, the divot will be below the ridge of this center construct. So in the very center of this hexagonal pattern, on the left-hand side, it will be below the ridge, and on the right-hand side, it will be above the ridge. Now, for the left-hand side, and we'll talk about the differences there. On this left-hand side, we've got that if you face it away from you, one is below and one is above. Wait, did I get... No, it's right. My bad. I thought they were different, but they're exactly the same. Okay, this may require a little ingenuity here to tell you the difference. There's very little that's different between these two, but I do remember it being on this center shaft. Yeah, there's a bump and another bump, and then kind of flatness, and then on this one there's a bump. So we'll see. We'll get the right hand one out, and we'll showcase how to tell the difference. Make sure we get this right. Yeah, see, there's no bump on the bottom of this one on the left-hand side. The bumps are over here. Yeah, there it is. There's a distinct couple of bumps that exist on the center axis of this. And it's the center axis that really has the differences for each of these two molds. So when you feel around on that center axis, you will find the differences. And they're just incredibly slight. It's just the difference between the location of a few bumps. and that should tell you which one's left and which one's right. Or you can be like me and get somebody with sight to tell you where the colors are, because they'll display it. So, let's get this thing going. First off, we've got to pick this guy up and move him over here slightly. Then we're going to lay this guy down. Now this is the right-hand side. I marked it. That means it's going to go on the right-hand side of this, right for right. Now, it should just fall into place, as long as we don't screw up any of the measurements on it. All right, I think that's right. Let's see. You can reach in there and feel with your hand to figure out if you've got it right. And inside the tunnel bit, there's that point and there's that point. They should line up. And oh, there it is. It's connected. Okay, now for the next one. Left wing comes out. We're going to connect left wing now. So we're just going to bring it up here. We're going to make sure that you feel for the notches in the little tube, and then in here you can feel there are 2 bumps. So one on each side, and all you do is just drop it in, slightly wiggle it, and there it goes. That is in place. Huh, I guess the top comes off. I'm just going to put the top back on. Figures. I never have any luck with this stuff. Just turn it like this.
S Pen disconnected. Insert your S Pen into your phone to reconnect it.
There. And that's how you assemble your TIE fighter together. Let me back up a bit so you can get it in good display, if y'all want to see. Look how big this thing is. So huge. All right.